Hello, my name is Mrs. Moser, and today I'm going to be reading you Leave Me Alone. So this is a little old lady who just wants to be left alone. And I want you to think, have you ever wanted to be left alone? And then when you were left alone, how did you feel? Leave me alone. Once, there was an old woman. She lived in a small village in a small house with a very big family. So some of you guys can relate if you have a big family. Look at this huge family she has here. Winter was coming. That meant she had some very important knitting to do, but it wasn't getting done. Oh, look at all those kids just carrying her away. Her grandchildren were very curious about her knitting. Were you supposed to hit the ball with a stick? Could you eat it? Could you make your brother eat it? Why did the ball get smaller and smaller as you chased it? The old woman was at the end of her rope. Oh, look at her facial expressions. So those who have learned how to read facial expressions, does she look very happy? Leave me alone. There she is, just leaving, packing up, leaving town. The old woman walked down through the deep, dark forest. She made a fire so that she could see what she was doing. Then she sat down and began to knit. The bear family was very curious about the light from her fire, and about what she might taste like. Well, the old woman shouted, because bears don't speak English. So she picked up her sack and left. So even when she went out deep in the dark woods, she still was not entirely alone. The old woman climbed up the mountainside. It was cold, so she found a small sheltered place. Then she sat down and began to knit. The mountain goats were excited to have a visitor, especially one that brought snacks. Look at her face. She's still not happy. She's still not alone, no matter how far she went. Leave me alone, the old woman shouted. But the goats were too busy fighting over the red ones, which they all agreed were the best. So she picked up her sack and left. Where she's going to go now. The old woman climbed higher and higher and higher up the mountain. She reached the top and climbed onto the moon. So I wonder, will she be left alone on the moon? She found a rock that was shaped like a chair. She sat down and she began to knit. The little green moon man had never seen a woman before, old or otherwise. They examined her with a handheld scanners that went beep bop. Look at that, even way up on the moon, she's still not left alone. Leave me alone, the old woman shouted. But the little green moon man couldn't hear her because they didn't have ears. So she picked up her sock and left through a wormhole. The void on the other side of the wormhole was very dark and very, very quiet. She was absolutely, completely, utterly alone. It was perfect. Now look at her facial expression. She's pretty happy. She's finally alone. Soon she had no more yarn and 30 little sweaters, and she was alone. Uh-oh, think what's happening here. She was happy at first, but now I'm not so sure how she's feeling. She put the 30 sweaters into her big sack. She swept the void until it was nice and matte black. Got a cup of tea. She picked up the sack and left through another wormhole. I don't think she's looking so happy anymore. When she came out the other side, everything was right where she'd left it. And she didn't say a word. So it looks like at the end, she was happy to have people back. So sometimes we think we know what we want, but then when it actually happens, we change our mind. I hope you enjoyed the book.